Hi guys, Future G90X are here, and I'm going to be letting you guys know that as of right now, I'm going to be working on some new stuff coming soon. I'm actually decided to bring back Fortnite, so and I'm working on a video for that right now as we speak. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys here in a minute for the second part of Jade Shadows. I'll see you guys soon. What's up guys, it's G90Xer here, and so let's go ahead and recap for what happened in part 1 for Jade Shadows. So for starters, there's a kid, don't know how that happened, and it's interesting here. Things have gotten really spicy. So let me kind of go on ahead and show you or tell you guys a little bit about what's going on. So we're currently being attacked with a kid in our hand. Again, I'm still confused on the kid part. I'm hoping that things become more clear as I go through this. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get back into it, and I will see you guys here in a second. Alright, so we're now back. Let me go ahead and up my decibels a little bit on that. So right now we currently have a kid in our hand, and we're currently being attacked by a bunch of a-holes. So let's get into it, shall we? Hold up, where's my sound? There's my sound. Did his sickle just get even more busted? Ah, yeah. Bring it, you a-holes! Oh boy, bring it! What is the sickle?
We've secured his ship. He's not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna beat the crap out of you guys. Come on, bring it. Wait, this bastard's still... Get out.
He's coming up. Get security in position. Do not screw this up for me. The sisterhood doesn't give second chances.
Candidate, Brother Pavlos is watching.
Get out, boy.
Captain, there's no Warframe down there. Just traces.
He took something. Rip it from his dead hands.
Ha! Hey guys, really? You guys see how quickly I'm kicking your ass? Yeah, why would you fire at someone who has a freaking kid in his arm, you asshole? Come on, buddy, you can do it! Where the heck am I?
You're going to be a father, Soren.
That's Jade! That's Jade!
But the legumes. If the Lord's found out.
That explains some of the back flashes.
You'll take care of us. Always. Won't you?
I'm sorry, I'm choosing that one because that sounds like a really good name.
Serious.
Oh, so this is an actual storyline. What? Oh my god.
May this aid you in the synthesis of many creatures.
Check your inbox.
Tenno, the shadow has fled. His lair is silent and empty. He will not return. Understand, she haunts this place. Her light has marred the earth. She whispers in the sleeping machines. Through the disintegration of her flesh, she lives on. In honor of my barren, void-scarred womb, I entrust Jade to you. He would not have wished this, but she would. I remain the great and terrible Unnao.
Otis went mad for 3 milliseconds when he realized that each time he cleans something, he makes something else dirty. Ah! There I go again.
I've got Jade now. So, question is, how do I unlock Jade? And her weapon and everything. This is, I might actually have to look this up. Wait. So let me get this straight. Do I actually have the blueprint? No way! Oh my god. I actually gotta search for this stuff, though. Question is, how easy is this gonna be to get? Hold on a second, guys. I'm gonna do some research. Hold on. Let me pull some stuff up on my computer. I don't care about the updates right now. Actually, hold on a second, guys. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna pause this while I look this stuff up. Give me a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So I was actually able to find out where to get the parts for Jade, and it's a new game mode. I think it's on Neptune. Wait, Deimos. Why was I here? Okay, I don't really care about you. Yeah. So I actually have to play this. What is this mode? Corpus. Give me a minute. Let me go grab a different Warframe. I don't think Haru is really going to be the best choice for this, especially for this being my first time through. Oh yeah, this is the bow. So you guys will actually get the chance to actually see me use this. Do I actually have an... Oh, jeez. So, okay. I do have some bow skills. Which... I probably should be leveling, but I'll deal with that later. Because during my... Did I get... Sniper... Okay, that can go away. I'll deal with that later. Purging Slash. Oh yeah, that's an Excalibur Warframe mod. Let me go to melee because I'm gonna have to up this. I was hoping to be able to hold off, but I kinda now don't have a choice. What? Oh, this is really gonna hurt. Thank you for letting me do this. Okay, so I need to whip up some It's been a long day. I had to work today as well before I had to start making this thing. So, confirm. 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 And dissolve. Okay, and then, okay, you know, I'm not even going to waste my time doing that. I'm just going to go round robin on that. What's this one? Alright. Oh, this is going to hurt. But it's badly needed because I need to up my damage. Exceed the What? Would exceed the capacity for my broken ward. What do you got here, Mr. Prawn Suit? Really? %, 75%. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get rid of this. Because it looks like I need the slots. So, go up there. Okay, now I've got 9. I've got 9 left to play with. Corrupt charge. Heavy attack efficiency. That could actually be good. But I need something that's gonna take up 9 spots. Proton snap. I don't know how to do wall latch. Increases range of aerial melee. Pressure point. Okay, so yeah, that can't be used. Fury. Okay, I got a really good Fury on there. Corrupt charge. Killing blow. Okay, I'm actually going to put this on because this might actually be useful. Oh, geez. I just now realized how much damage I'm going to be doing. Homie's going to be hitting like a truck. Okay, yeah, let's... Oh, wait, I said I was going to change out my Warframe. I know you guys...
They say, Operator, your chosen Warframe suits you.
Shut up, Ordis. Pulling out Umbra, and I'm actually going to make some changes to him. So, didn't I make a new Umbra helmet? I did not. I really want this one, though. Excalibur Prisma? Void Shell? Sentient Slayer... Ronin, Proto, Prisma. I like that. Stupid freaking bug. Okay. So, what? Okay, I need to go from Deimos to here. Belly of the Beast. We're gonna go full YOLO on this. Cause I need to... I need to get the blueprints. I've been waiting for Jade to come out for a while, so... And I hear that she's really, really good. So, I'm sorry that I had to split this video up into multiple parts, though. But let's get to it. Yes!
Ordis applauds your
Extremely risky.
bold decision to collect volatile loads despite Poplar Storming's relentless greed. Surely you will despite his
Overwhelming forces.
escort her loads out of this cave. From there, Ordis will commit them to the sun.
Hey, wait, what do I gotta do?
That's the Beast of Bones. Unbelievable. They make ballads of you, Orban. Shadow figures told your story on alley walls. Children sat agog to listen. A lazy voice. Troops, dismantle this puny operation and retrieve the volatile motes for the Eximus project.
The man you refer to is dead, but Ordis is sure he would also have told you. Far out of our way. Operator, you will not believe this. capsule is ready. Onward and then upward. Ordis has unilaterally enabled air support that will boost the height of your gallant leaps. Enjoy! A sister beacon? Trigger too many of those, and you will have to fight a sister of Parva.
So trigger them!
Ordis fears they have cut power to the elevator. Find ionic charges nearby, or else we will be going nowhere.
Alright, who's next on my shit list? Okay, wait, how do I use this? Do I shoot it?
The elevator is out of power. Find more charges or it is stuck here.
Something really is really wrong here. Yeah, what if you guys take that?
Does it not thrill you to watch your beloved operator spilling torrents of blood? Do you not yearn to be by their side, blades in hand, amid the fury of the hot stench?
You are an old man, Mr. Granum, and you were by yourself in the void for a very long time. Please, seek medical treatment.
Wait, do I need this to do this? That guy just fell to his death. What was wrong with him? Ooh. I did not realize that my thing did that much damage. You guys are seeing this, right? Ouch! My bones! Bring it on, you little nutsacks! I'm ready to have some fun. Ow! Is that a laser? Oh my god, that's a freaking laser! Ow!
I'd say you have about as much chance as a snake in a typing contest.
Corpus, the enemy is on their way to extraction. Does that seem like a satisfactory outcome to you?
Until the capsule's shields are back up, Bonus is afraid it will not budge.
You fought with honor.
Hurry! The enemy is close to destroying the capsule!
I also wonder what the percentage chance is on that.
You did it! Now, bring the volatile notes to me on the rudder relay.
Hang on a second, guys. I actually need to dig a little deeper.
Check your inbox, operator. Maybe Ordis will get a message someday. Operator, Ordis is sorry. Happy to report that all my good jokes are gone.
I'm very excited now. The anticipation.
So we shall lay Jade's volatile modes to rest in the embrace of the sun, well out of reach of Pavos Granum and his tawdry schemes. She will, once again, be a part of the giving of life. Ordis hopes this is what she would have wanted. Could Ordis have saved Jade? Ordis has rerun a simulation of the event 600 mil. Very well. Okay, Ordis will be here, as well as the.
Okay, so I'm guessing that it is bugged, so please, devs, fix this one.
Unread inbox messages make me ill.
Shut up, Ordis, like Jesus. Oh, I've got 3x Forma. So, apparently this is bugged. So, we're just gonna have to grind this for a minute until I get enough, because I also want to get her weapons as well. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think the stuff I need for her is the mats as well. So, we're just gonna keep going. I'm gonna mute myself though, because you're probably gonna hear me scream, and that's the last thing you guys want. So,
Operator, Ordis is sorry. Happy to report that all my good jokes are gone. All that is left of her is the moat in this cave. Ordis could have
Should have.
done more. Help Ordis stop Pavos Granum.
That's the beast of bones. Unbelievable. They make ballads of you, Orden. Shadow figures told your story on alley walls. Children sat agog to listen. A legacy voice. Troops, dismantle this puny operation and retrieve the volatile moats for the Eximus project.
The man you refer to is dead, but Ordis is sure he would also have told you to far out of our way. Let's go. Uh-oh. It seems that the collector has taken serious damage. It's going to have to start the process over again. Keep defending it. Ready for transport to the surface. Ordis has unilaterally enabled air support that will boost the height of your gallant leaps. Enjoy! Elevator ascension and they have cut the power. Ordis is afraid you will have to power it manually. Look for ionic charges.
so many of you being your best selves. Nora is just beside herself with admiration.
Oh, wait. And this is why this is hard, because unfortunately, I guess I know why that this thing's going to be a pain, because unfortunately for me... Okay. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead... I thought that it was going to take me...
Tenno, a new alert has begun. It will be marked on navigation.
Shut up! I'm trying to talk to my people. But, so, they did exactly what I was afraid of and did not... let me, give me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, so... They did exactly what I was afraid of. They did not give any explanation as to why a Warframe was able to have a kid, and didn't really give any explanation on it. So, oh boy, that's really going to hurt them as far as my rating goes. So, the new Jade Shadows release. So, I do like the fact being that I can get the Warframe Jade from this. And Jade's supposed to be really, really powerful. However, so I like the fact being though that I got to play as the Stalker, which he's busted already. And his bow is disgusting. His scythe, I think is what... Yeah, it's a scythe. That thing's disgusting too. So, and all of his powers, I wish that they would allow me to actually have him. Because he's basically a Warframe that hunts Warframes. And he's already busted. So, here's my issue though. Okay? I'm definitely gonna have to think of how... So, of course, one of my major nitpicks is the fact being that they did not explain... Oh, jeez, I didn't... Yeah, guys, I've got freaking, headset hair. So, leave me alone. They did the one thing that I was hoping that they wouldn't. And they did not explain how Jade was able to have a kid when she's a Warframe. And that's one of my major nitpicks, because if this game is so heavy, is story heavy, I am going to critique it like I do every story game. And for the fact being that they did not give any explanation. And it's not in any of the codices. So, as to how a Warframe can have a kid, I don't know. So, that's obviously that's gonna hurt it. Because the story for this game is... It's major. And it's a big part of it. It's not just a massive online multiplayer game. It's also heavy when it comes to story. Because they had to get some people intrigued. And the story of this game normally is very, very good. But it's a finer point in the story to explain this. And they didn't. So, obviously I'm going to have to not only critique, but I'm also going to have to do... It's going to be... I have to acknowledge the story for what it is. There is nothing that could have stopped them from just throwing in an answer. So, now, obviously I don't know how or where this is going to head. So, because they really left that open. So I have to critique this in a way that the developers will watch and understand this. Because as a person who... It's a story game, so it's story based. I have to critique it like it's a story game. And if it's a story game, or it's heavily dependent on the story to survive, I have to critique it like it's a story game. So the finer points become prevalent, and for the fact being that they did not bother to explain how a Warframe, especially 2 Warframes, getting into it and having a kid. Like, you're gonna have to kind of give off some explanation as to why that's possible, especially when the developers have specifically said that the Warframes are machines. They should not have been able to do something like that. So, without any explanation as to why or how that's possible, I'm gonna have to critique it there, because that is... They made that kid a huge chunk of the story. So you kind of... I have to critique that. As far as I know, Warframes are machines. So, and it has become consistent. Now, Umbra, unfortunately, to me, is the only exception. Umbra has the ability to have a consciousness of his own. So... But to me, these things are machines. They should not be able to reproduce. Now, onto the gameplay. Now, of course, I can't critique the gameplay correctly. Of course, do I feel like that whoever I was playing as, I think his name's the Stalker, he's busted. His powers, he not only can turn invisible, he can teleport, but he also has an AoE attack. For those of you who are watching this and don't know what AoE means, that means area of effect. So, I mean that felt good. It felt fluid. It felt awesome. But really, when it comes down to gameplay, compared to actual portions of the story that matter, so... Okay. Let me kind of explain Warframe a little bit to those of you who are just tuning in for the first time. I went through this on my first actual episode playing this, but let me go on ahead and get into this a little bit more. So, this takes place years in the future, where 3 factions, basically. So you got your 3 factions. You got Corpus, Grineer, and the Infested, which I really don't consider a faction, but you know, you fight them anyway. So Technically, that's a third faction. There's a secret fourth about midway through the game, which is called the Kuva, but they're basically more indestructible version of the Grineer. That is, to me, just doesn't feel correct. So I'm gonna group the actual Grineer and the Kuva together because it makes sense. And the story from start to finish lately has been up to Jade Shadows has been fluid. They've closed off certain storylines, but not to the point being where they can't eventually go back to it. So, but this one left so many holes, it looks like freaking Swiss cheese. Like, they really did not give a whole lot of backstory when it comes to, one, how did that guy end up knowing Jade? All we know is that Jade saved that thing's life, and that's all we know. I don't know too much background on Jade. I honestly wish that they would have given like a little bit more of a prelude, because I mean, that would fill in some of the holes, but not all of them. So, in my eyes, it feels like that. I don't want to use this phrasing, but it's really the only way to describe it. It feels rushed. I mean, even the new game mode that they've got going for Jade right now, which is called Ascension, it's bugged. Like, I can't even get the parts for Jade. I'm literally going to be grinding forever just to get not only the weapons, but just the parts needed to make the Warframe. So, it does. It feels a little rushed. Like, there's holes in the story that don't... Some parts of it that don't make sense. There's not a prelude to it to explain most of it. This quest line, of course, I loved the gameplay, but the story doesn't make any sense. Like, they really needed to give a lot more of an introduction. Like, particularly this quest line, I would have liked to see something similar to the New War, which was about a 7 to 8 hour long part. It would have not only covered everything, but it felt rushed. So, yeah, that's really the only way to describe it. It's like they were trying to hit a deadline, and they rushed it. So, it does. It feels very, very rushed. So, there's a difference between doing things well, but putting them off, and rather have their fans and supporters be satisfied with that, versus rushing things and then people who have been playing the game for a while notice the holes, and yeah, that's where yeah. So if I had to rate this particular part on a scale of 1 to 10, this is tough. It's even tougher than my Cyberpunk review, because this is a game that I hold near and dear to my heart. I play this game when I'm not grinding on COD for hours on end. I don't know how to rate this. Okay. I think I have an idea. this, yeah, this particular portion, I have to rate it at a 4. Again, this game isn't just a massive online multiplayer. It's kind of like SAOIF in a way where it's heavily dependent on the story. So I have to critique it heavily when it comes to the story. It's a 4. 5 at best. It can't go above a 6. It can't go above 5, unfortunately. And there's just... unless they're intending on adding on another quest line to continue this, but they don't go... But if they don't go back to this immediately after, this is gonna hurt. Because it's a story that they tried to pull off and didn't give a whole lot of explanation. So if I had to, yeah, it's a 5 at most. No more than that. That's really all I can give it. Because, especially for getting a 50% out of 10, especially with that being it at most. I'd actually have to go back and replay it myself to confirm if it's a 4 or 5. Because this game relies so heavily on its story. The introduction looked good, but it did not give... So, the reasoning behind my rating for this is for a couple of different reasons. For starters, one, like I said, there's a whole bunch of holes in that story. Like, it almost looked like it was slapped together last minute, and I don't like saying that. But the gameplay was really good. And kind of not having to use my own equipment. It adds that extra challenge, which is why it's at a minimum of a 4 there. Another reason why I couldn't go higher than a 5 is because the fact being that there wasn't much... The story, well, one was really short. And it did not feel... There's a feel between a completed story and a incomplete story. And then you've got your... Well, there's an incomplete story that allows them to go back to it. But most of the stuff has been tied out, leaving a strand available for them to start working on a storyline with. And they've actually done that. The Cambion Drift is a really good example. And you go back there after the new war and work on some stuff. And I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, cool. I get to go back there and actually do some stuff. Granted, that area was a pain in my backside, but that's something for a later date. But then there's also the types that are incomplete and completely incomplete. So this one just has way too many threads going around here. So imagine it like this. These 3 things are your threads throughout the point in time. However, the threads themselves overcross too much, but never get finished. I guess is the best way to put it. So, it seems way too incomplete. It feels like that it needed a lot more work done, but they had a deadline to meet. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was good, just not a complete story mission. If you catch my drift. There are certain games that I can allow incomplete parts. But with this game now starting a whole new chapter, it feels like that they rushed it. Like they really couldn't, that the developers really weren't, that it wasn't, it was a good story. It has the potential to hit hard, but it missed. It just missed the mark. So, yeah, that's the 3 reasons why the rating dropped. Now, on to, if they continue to keep going the Jade Shadow route, they're going to have to release a lot more quests to patch up these holes. They're going to have to release a lot more of the story missions. I am kind of, now as far as, there was one thing that crossed my mind. What was it? It is important too. Oh yeah, the music. Now, the reason why I couldn't go below a 4 was because of the music. The music itself, oh my god, it's great. I heard that they used a live choir, to make the music for the new game mode, and for the main story too, or for the story that goes into the new game mode. That is really, really beautiful. So, yeah, I couldn't go below a 4 on that, because that's a really hard thing to do, especially to not only schedule a good choir, but to have that sound just, oh, it felt so good. So I couldn't go too hard on them, but I had to give judgment and critique where it had to be. And that's kind of my job. I don't just record this stuff for you guys. I record it so that then this way, if I do find things that did not, that do I believe is it a great game to play. Now, of course, Warframe overall, is it a great game to get into? Of course. Now, there are missions in this game that I do have to critique. Now, this is like, if they ever decide to create the finale for Warframe, which I highly doubt they will. This is a really good game that they got on their hands. So, in my eyes, this particular chunk, it's a 4, 5 at most. I'm probably gonna put it out of 5 though, because it was, I just love the music. The story had too many holes and the gameplay was good. Exceptional, but good. The gameplay itself was exceptional, but overall the story was hurt. Because they did not either give a proper prelude into it to make it a smooth intro, to make the story a little bit smoother, because it feels like that there was a whole lot of choppiness in the story. It seems like that they were trying to do too much at one time. It's a mouthful of information for me to digest. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to put this game at, it's a 5, but that's pushing it. It's a definitely a solid. I can't say that it's a solid 4 because that would be putting it way too low. Like, there's really no way to gauge this. So it's definitely a 4 or a 5. I can't say for sure. I'd actually have to go back through and play it again for myself to kind of ultimately determine it. But in my eyes, I definitely feel like it's either a 4 or 5 out of 10. And that's how lately I've been rating them, because there have been times where I've had games blow me away with their story or with their gameplays, with their gameplay mapping and stuff like that. It's ultimately, this game is a 4, or this particular chunk of story is a 4 or 5. Now, ultimately, my decision could change. Because, again, this is a massive online multiplayer. You guys got to remember this, though. But they do a lot of story. This game is heavily reliant on the story. So I have to critique it like I would any story game. I gave Cyberpunk the same type of critiques. So, ultimately, I do have to say that this game right now sits at either a 4 or a 5 in my book. 5 at best. And that's because 2 reasons are why it is not going lower than a 4, but I can't put it past a 5. The first 2 good things was the music is unbelievable. And the second thing is the gameplay is beyond exceptional. As usual with what I expect from Warframe. And then the things that really caused me to not being able to push it above a 5 was the fact being that the story has too many holes. There's no explanation to why that. I mean, there was a freaking kid in there with freaking machines. Make that make sense. You can't without explaining it. And then on top of that, I mean, how those two met, I don't know. All we know is that Jade saved. I think it's the Stalker, because it makes sense. Because I fought the Stalker before, so yeah, it's the Stalker. Yeah, so the Stalker was saved by Jade, but they don't even know how it happened. We don't know how it happened. What caused this? So, and that's just the second part. The third thing is that the story itself does not fit correctly. It does not fit together correctly. It feels choppy. Like they were, like I said, they were trying to do too much with it at one time. And they had a deadline to meet. It felt rushed. It felt choppy. And ultimately, when you rush something like this, you're gonna have people who can critique this stuff and know how to. So, like, I mean, there was no explanation anywhere to how a Warframe could have a kid. I mean, it's a machine using alien technology, and you can't even bother to explain why a machine could have a kid. I mean, come on. I mean, that's just, you can come up with, it's fictional. You can freaking come up with something weird, and it would still make sense. I could name like 5 different reasons right now off the top of my hand that they could have tried and failed. And I was really waiting for this to come out because I'm like, finally, some new content, give me story. And now I'm kind of regretting it. Like, I mean, I can't fully regret it because I loved what they did with the music, and I heard that that's what they were going to try and do for this. Because Jade is a archangel, or an angelitic, I think is what they call it, Warframe type. Which, It's kind of similar to Trinity, I guess. I don't know. I'd actually have to look at her abilities and stats. So, but again, it's something that to make a story-based game, you gotta pull through on the story. I could care if the gameplay feels like crap. Granted, I will critique the gameplay saying that it feels like crap, but I won't critique it as heavy as the story. And that's strictly because Warframe has survived for so long with its story. It's a story-based, massive online multiplayer. So, and it honestly sucks that they rushed it. They had a really good story on their hands. So, they better continue Jade Shadows. I honestly should say Jade Shadows, they need to make sure that they fix all of that. Because I love this game. But after I was done with that, I'm like, that's it? Really? No explanation to a kid. No explanation as to how those two met. Besides, you know, Jade saving his sorry ass. So, in my mind, I feel like that if they do not give this particular area, either fill in the hole somehow, and no, don't make it codices at this point. We're far past that. They're going to have to make another new quest that will drop either with the next update or the next time that they can actually release as soon. Basically, they need to patch these holes as soon as possible, because I was lucky enough to catch them, and telling you guys this, it hurts my soul, because this game I love, because for a while the story was on point. It was heading towards something, and now we're like, okay, there's a kid now. Why is that relevant? So, in my eyes, I feel like that, again, they really have to patch these holes, and we're past the point being where they can use codices to do so. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to make another new quest to help patch this. And then again, it would help fix it for a little bit. At least until they can properly finish off the story. And hopefully when they are making these patches for it, like when they go in to patch that story, it has to make sense through and through. And that's going to be my major critique here. So, if they decide to continue this story route, which at this point they should, because they got a really good story on their hands, but they really couldn't figure out which direction they wanted to go with it. It started sprouting out like a seed in multiple different directions. So, in my eyes, I would have to say, yeah, they're gonna have to do some patchwork if they want to continue with this. And I feel like that it's going to be leading to something pretty big. So if they're probably going to be continuing with the Jade Shadow story type, but they're gonna have to make it worth our while. Like, for me, this felt like almost like a waste of time. So I don't even know if I'm going to grind for Jade at this point, because to be able to, one, it's not even functioning correctly, the drop rates, to be able to get Jade's parts. I went in with an entire party and did not get one single part. Why would you make something 5% when it's a brand new Warframe and you want people to use it? Right now, that blueprint is currently sitting in the inventory of my foundry. And I am questioning if I'm going to grind it. Now, onto the new game mode that they released, Ascension. It just feels like the definition of elevator. If you guys have ever heard of that, basically, but instead it's a reversed variant. Elevator is kind of like Doom, where you're basically stepping foot into hell. But this is Ascension. You're basically trying to make your way to heaven. Why make it that hard? A level 45 to 50. Why make it that hard? A lot of us don't have a lot of heavy hitter Warframes. Because, you know, we don't go out and buy them. We work towards them. And that's kind of what made this game so much fun, is that it wasn't pay to win. It's free to play. And it was a definition of free to play. It's kind of like IF in a way, where you don't have to, like in SAOIF, you didn't have to go out and buy gems to get skill packs. It's like that, where you get your free ones and you still have a chance of getting some good stuff and making a really good kit. But they've gone so heavy on the pay to win. It's almost like Warframe has lost its way. So with this is honest. The rating that I gave for it is generous for the story. However, so with the Ascension gameplay mode, it seems to be like, why would you put it on? Why would you make that a thing? It is the definition of the reversed elevator. In my eyes, it feels like I'm literally looking at it for a second there, and I'm like, what are you doing? Did you run out of ideas? Because I could have given you some better ones. That would have been 5 times better than that, and they're easy. Like it is the definition of elevator in reverse. That game mode, honestly, and they didn't just make it a reversed version of a elevator, they made it a level 45 to 50 reverse. Sorry, I had to pull something like that because it felt like that there was a freaking bug on me. But it felt like that there was. It's not just any reverse version of a elevator. No, they made it a level 45 to 50 reversed elevator. Warframes can only be maxed out at level 30. Like, what's the point here? It makes little to no sense. So, the advent of Ascension, or the Ascension, whatever the fuck they're calling it, I can't say I like it. It feels way too... It feels way too much like reverse elevator. And that's honestly the best way that I can call it. I don't know if that's what they were going for, but if that's what they were going for, that is... They ran out of ideas at that point. Because they basically ripped off something from another video game. if that's what they were going for, and then just turned it around and said, oh yeah, we're going to, instead of going down, you're going to go up. At that point, I would literally just uninstall that game. If that is exactly what they were going for, straight up I would uninstall it. Because that means that not only do they not care anymore, but they've ran out of ideas. And if you're going to be continuing a game like this, you have to keep coming up with fresh ideas. Like a good old-fashioned plot twist, which this one I wouldn't even consider a plot twist because there's no explanation as to why that took place. So I would love to see them take this story in the right direction. First thing that they're going to have to do is patch up the holes in the story, just to make it malleable. And that would mean that they would have to come out with, I would say that they're probably going to have to come out with at least 3 new quest lines to fix this. So, what, like for example, one quest would be to explain how it would kind of be. Here's my thoughts, if they were going to try this. So they would have to kind of mimic Jade a bit to kind of make this work. So they would have to, first things first, explain how a Warframe could have a kid. And that is a quest in and of its own. The second part would finally get to the point being where how Jade and he's Stalker. He's being known as Stalker here. How Jade and Stalker met, or how the events led to Jade saving his life. One of those two. And then the third one is ultimately going to explain, and then the third quest would of course start working towards filling in the story, like what happened to Shadow after the kid. All we know is that he disappeared, kind of making you wonder, is he dead, is he not dead, is he injured, do we have to go save his ass? I really don't know. On top of that, they introduced another new character for the Corpus, so I would kind of like to see, it's another layer to the Corpus, and that was something I really didn't want to bring up because it felt forced. And on top of that, making the lady that was talking to us while we were invading the Corpus ship, hate to have to use this phrasing, but they made her not only act but sound like a bitch. Like, you're the definition of prissy princess bitch. Like, it's someone that you would rather hit over the head with a paddle. Not only that, they probably gave her the most annoying voice ever. Like, I was literally trying not to cringe. So, but, oh jeez, have I been really ranting for 42 minutes? Oh my god. But, I'm gonna go on ahead, I'm gonna leave this here. It's a 4 or 5 for me. Let's just see where this takes us. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this content, please by all means hit the like button down below. And if you guys are new, please subscribe. And if you guys have any ideas for going forward, if you want me to continue playing this game, give me some ideas. I want to see what you guys can come up with. Keep this in mind though, not very many of my friends actually play this, so I'd have to be doing open party type stuff, or if you guys have any ideas on which Warframe I should do next, kind of give me some ideas. And I will read all the comments and I will take your opinions to heart. So, but thank you guys. Peace out. And I will see you guys in the next video, whatever it will be. Later, guys.